All right, so you mentioned the birth of the microprocessor and the Intel 88. It came out around end of '74, I believe, and that's what sparked the Altair and all its clones and everything since then. Of course, there were a couple personal computers built before that, like the Kenbach was just a year or two before. This is a 1/2 scale model, so the original one was probably about that big. It didn't have a microprocessor in it. It just had a board full of logic chips, but it was essentially did the same thing. It had 256 bytes of memory. You programmed it in through the front panel, and the gentleman who invented it marketed it towards the educational market, and ended up not doing so well, especially because it was right before the 8080 coming out. If you're in the market for a computer back then and you decided to get an Altair, the basic kit would come with the case and the panel and just 2 cards, a CPU card and a whole 1K of RAM. So we can this is the original 1K RAM board for the Altair here. You could get it with just the first 2 chips in it, which is 256 bytes, which is how much the Kenbach had. This one is populated all the way to 1K. And of course, most people upgraded from that. If you want to see how it originally came, we can look inside the IMSAI.
Okay.
What's funny is the IMSAI is a clone, but it has a nicer case than the Altair. Heavy duty. Everybody. So this has a CPU card with the nice ceramic Intel 88 chip in it. And when I got this IMSAI, it had the 4K RAM board in it, which I took out because it doesn't work anymore, but this is the 4K board, so it would have come with these 2 boards.
And does it work? Does that work?
This RAM board does not work. No.
Okay.
But the rest of it does. So, and if this is all you had, then the only way to program it was to put in each individual assembly language command through the front switches here, in either binary or octal. Straight up machine language.
And that 8080 chip, is that that is a real early one, did you say? Or is that with the little, little circle, little thing on there?
Yeah, anytime you see a white ceramic chip, that's going to be the older style.
Okay.
And then when they made more and more of them, they switched to the black plastic cases, which are much cheaper, obviously, than ceramic.
What is a little metal cap for, do you know? Just part of the processing, or when they closed it up, maybe?
I don't know.
I'm thinking
It
maybe
could just be a cover for the central.
Yeah,
chip.
maybe they closed it up.
The little chip is in there is less than 1/4 of an inch square. But yeah, theoretical. Could be leftover.
Well, I'm thinking of manufacturing, it was off.
Leftover construction techniques from programmable RAM chips.
Yeah.
That would have that space open.
Right. But you're saying like the case is better. I mean, they had an opportunity, of course, to take the Altair and kind of improve upon it.
Right.
When they
The
built theirs.
IMSAI came out less than 6 months after the Intel 8080 microprocessor came out. And I don't remember exactly how much longer after that the IMSAI came out, but it was not very long.
And it had a much improved power supply too.
Bigger, beefier power supply, big transformer, a little heavier duty case, but every clone was a little different. And then most people would eventually upgrade from just the RAM and the CPU card. You probably start off with a serial card. If you're lucky enough to find it or get a good deal on a teletype machine, you could interact with it through that. Like computer monitors didn't exist yet. Any kind of video display for a computer was still very expensive. But there were a number of different ways you could interact with this thing. You could plug in a keyboard and display directly to the machine through a card, or you could just run a serial card out to a teletype or a serial terminal. So this has the CPU card in the end here with another ceramic 8080 chip in it. The next 2 cards are part of a video output board called the Dazzler. That's what's going to be displayed on the TV here. Just a regular composite output. And then the 4th card is a 4K RAM board. The next 2 cards are modern cards. but one for serial output, which is connected to my laptop serial terminal. And there's a floppy drive emulator in here. It can support original physical floppy drives or virtual floppy drive on your computer, which is what I'm going to use. So use the Altair, you just turn it on. It doesn't do anything when you first turn it on. There's no automatic reset, there's no boot ROM, there's nothing, so you have to reset it. We'll make sure, use these first 6 switches or 8 bits for the program assembly codes.
You need to load the address or?
So all these down is 000000000, and that's where we're going to start, the very first address in memory. So we're going to examine that, which brings it up.
Okay.
Now we can enter the first command.
041.
And these numbers are an octal. You going left to right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 0. And nice thing about octal is the numbers are the same as binary. So this is 124, 124, 124. So 0, 4, 1. We're going to deposit that into address 0 in memory. You'll see it pops up into the memory display up top. And then we're ready for the next command.
000.
0, 0, 0. Deposit next address in memory.
000.
0, 0, 0.
026.
0, 2, 4, and 2 is 6.
200.
2, 0, 0.
001.
0, 0, 1.
016.
0, 1, 6.
000.
0, 0, 0.
032.
0, 1 and 2 is 3. 0,
032.
0, 3, 2.
So let me ask a question real quick over that one. So it doesn't look to me like the pattern of lights. Does that really meaningful to you, or is it just?
So this bottom row is the memory address, and the top row is the data.
Okay, 0
So
or
it's
1.
the command that you're putting into that address.
Okay, so it does. It's like as you're doing it, you have enough
So you
recognition.
get
of it. It's
feedback,
like,
and
yeah,
you
that
can
looks
go
good.
back to any address and look and see what you put in. Correct?
Okay.
032.
0, 3, 2. Again.
03. Yeah. There's 4 of them in a row.
Okay, this is the second one, right?
I think that was the third one was where my finger was.
Okay.
And then another 032.
Okay.
And then a 011.
1, 1.
322.
3, 2, 2.
010.
0, 1, 0.
000.
0, 0, 0.
333.
3,
377.
7, 7. 4 plus 2 plus 1.
One little mistake.
Right.
That
Address.
was 26, right? And the next one's 2. No, my bad. What address are we on?
Right now I'm on 1, 0.
Okay, 10 should be a 032.
Must have got off somewhere. We are 1 ahead. At this point, it's usually easy to start over.
Yeah.
You can't
I
just fix
can see that.
one.
You can, but it's really easy to get mixed up when you're examining.
All right, so that's the kill the bit program running. The bit we want to kill is that light going round and around on those first 8 bits. These lower lights are actually the program running. Those are the address of the executable code. Object of this game is to try to flip one of these switches quickly as the light goes by. If you can do that, you'll kill the bit. So let's try it. I'm right-handed, so it's going to be hard. Okay, I missed, so it actually gave me more bits to kill now. And I got rid of one of them. There, got them all.
All right, so 2 cards here are for the Dazzler video output display device. It was, as far as I know, the second video card ever made. There was a VDM and then the Dazzler here, and then they made a Dazzler 2. But it outputs composite signal to an ordinary TV and gives you a whole 64 by 64 pixels in a few hundred colors.
Wow.
And like the whole rest of the Altair, you had to buy it as a kit and assemble it yourself, and then write your own software, because
Oh, it didn't come with anything that generated that stuff?
Maybe a demo program or two,
Yeah.
or what your friends had written, but there was no commercial software back then.
Well, does it have on there, how much did it cost?
I don't know.
It's not-
Probably in the range of $300 to $500. Yeah.
No problem.
So this machine's set up with the Dazzler and external connections to a modern terminal and a modern floppy emulator. So we will boot from a CPM floppy, which is what most people end up booting from, and run them on here, CPM. And then we'll load a disk full of Dazzler demos. So I'll turn it on, reset it. I'm going to set the memory address up here to the boot ROM that's installed in this machine. And it will show up, should get a CPM prompt on the TV up here. Have to actually go to that address first.
Ah, look at that.
So we've got, it's loaded from this disk, it's loaded CPM, and we've got the prompt up there. So Altair is running CPM, precursor to DOS. A lot of the commands are saying dir for directory listing. And see this, we've got a copy of this Kaleidoscope program right here. Which is, so for some, well, not for some reason, but a lot of these programs were written for actually a Z80, not an Intel 8080. This Cromemco, even though they initially released it for this, eventually put it in their own Z80 system. Most people that used the Dazzler used it on a Z80.
Oh, look at the video, just freezes.
Yeah, well, I just reset the system. There it goes. And some of the programs will.
Offhand, do you know, is it frozen because the TV has frozen, is no longer receiving a video signal, so it froze it there, or this is actually still sending that frozen signal?
So it has video RAM, but it's just pulling 2K from the system RAM. So when the program stops running, it stops updating the RAM.
Okay.
And the display is that output is
That last
directly from the
information,
bytes
yeah.
that are in the RAM.
Huh.
Let's restart our boot address loaded. We're gonna zoom on that. Back to a prompt. Maybe.
And it's 56K CPM, even though your Altair has 64K? Was that common?
That may just be what this particular version of CPM was compiled for.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not an accurate representation of. It might be because the modern card does bring the memory up to 64K, which was the maximum you could address.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know if it's my terminal not refreshing.
Yeah, I wonder by the late 70s if how common it was for people to even have 64K in their systems. Probably was pretty expensive.
So RAM prices did drop pretty quickly. So eventually, especially by the time like the Commodore 64 came out, which came out. There we go.
Oh.
So yeah, people wrote games and demos and application software for this stuff.
Oh, wow. Dad, you said this would be fun. Why can't we just walk up and turn it on and start playing?
Right.
That's nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, so it has a little bit of something on the left side there. What do you think?
That's because this was actually written for Z80. So
Oh, okay, that's why.
It doesn't exactly run on 80.
Oh, okay.
But at least it shows something on the screen.
Yeah, that looks good.
Since it's running CPM, you can run any CPM application.
Oh.
From WordStar to Zork.
It's easy to see what, back when they would like bundle like a CD drive with speakers and a microphone and then like a bunch of shovelware CDs.
A lot of people who started with IBM PCs would think that your first video output was monochrome, and then you went to 4-color CGA, and then you went to 16-color EGA.
Yeah, yeah.
Dazzler had a few thousand colors available. All right, so this is a modern diagnostic card for working on S100 bus machines. It has all the lights on the front panel from IMSAI. You could use this to work on any S100 computer.
Oh, so like if you had a more generic one without the
If you had a
lights.
polymorphic or a Cromemco
Yeah.
or any other that didn't have a front panel, you could use this to look at all the lights that you
Okay.
normally see. Also has some other diagnostic functions like a stop-start button, single-step button, built-in like logic probe voltages, and some high-low speakers.
Now wait, before you turn it on, when you turn it on, the two sets of lights will match each other.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's obvious, but just...
We're going to turn it on and reset it. There's nothing programmed in here, but I'll just. Front panel's not plugged in all the way. Go bump that. Okay. We will reset it, and there's no RAM in here, so we'll just run it, and it'll run random code from the memory, but it'll at least blink the lights.
Okay.
So let's see, the address. Lights on the bottom of the IMSAI here are the same as the ones on the top. What else?
You know, I know we're here to celebrate the Altair, but I gotta say, I really love this.
Data
With like the lights are
on
behind
it's the
here.
same as that, yeah.
It's just something so nice about them.
It looks fancier than the Altair.
Yeah.
That's what they were going for. That's why they used it in war games.
Mm.
I think the computer.
I know about that.
I think the one in war games didn't even have its top cover on it. If you look carefully.
Do you want to play a game?
Yeah.